Hawlucha and Eject Palafin ended up making day 2 at the Portland Regional Championship, going 8-1 in the first day. We're going to be trying out and see how it performs. This team features Hawlucha with some surprise picks like Eject Button Palafin, Speed Booster Energy Sandy Shocks, and Heal Pulse Inity. The Hawlucha has Swords Dance with Psychic Seed and Unburden, being able to outspeed Pokemon like Speed Booster Iron Bundle and Chlorophyll Lilligant, while having a great offensive typing into a lot of the formats such as the Rune Pokemon, Amoonguss, and a lot of Terra Grass options. This set runs Flying Press, which got buffed to 100 base power in Gen 7. Did you know that? Because I did not know that. And is a move with dual stab and factors both typings into the opponent. However, this means it is not super effective into Kingambit, Volcarona, and other Pokemon, so it does have a lot of strange factors. But Ashton told me the creator said he didn't want the Hawlucha's defenses lowered by close combat when he played him. Heishian Pao, Fordundozo, and combos well with Hawlucha, allowing Hawlucha to pick up certain knockouts it couldn't get otherwise at neutral and at +2 attack. Life Orb Armor should deal a lot of damage and help with Wide Guard support, and Eject Palafin to get immediate switches against Intimidate to potentially get terrain setup or play around an immediate Intimidate with Hawlucha. Common leads involve Inity with Armarouge or Hawlucha and Palafin for Eject Pack strats. Goal is to set up with Hawlucha or just brute force your opponents with offense. If you would like to check out the details of the team and the creator, the links will be in the description. Abomasnow, Titan, Mousehold, Annihilate, Fluttermane, and Ting Lu. Scary team. These Titans actually pretty worrisome. Titan does get Ice Spinner. I don't know. It's just really weird. Titan does get Ice Spinner. Actually, no. I guess it can roll. I don't remember. I'm just gonna lead. I want to lead Hawlucha here because I could Terra Steel and it's very solid in this matchup. It's really good against a lot of the common Pokemon on their team. I also don't mind dedicating to Terra because I don't really see what else I would really Terra with. Although Eject Pack on the Palafin can put in work with close combat. But I don't know what I'd really want to eject out into. I mean, I could avoid Ice Spinner this way, I suppose. Like I could lead the Armarouge plus the Palafin. Although it just seems really weird in a Mousehold and Annihilate. So I think I'd rather do Hawlucha, which is super safe here in this matchup. My Pro Controller is drifting again. Okay. So I do want to go with the Hawlucha Inity. Xian Pao looks pretty good to me. It just outspeeds a lot of their things on their team. And then Armarouge or Palafin. I actually don't mind the Palafin. And I think I'm going to try out the Palafin. Yes, I could bring my Armarouge right here, and maybe Wide Guard would be nice in cases like Earthquake's a Titan. But I am a little bit concerned about a few factors where if I bring the Armarouge, I want to make sure that I have ways to break through the Annihilate quickly, which with no speed control, I just really can't see the Armarouge being able to do well. They led super aggressively into a potential no. They just decide, hey, you're not gonna lead the Armarouge right here, but this lead's perfect for me. I'm able to go for Sword Stance and follow me very safely here, and there's really not much that they can accomplish. Maybe unless it's not Friend Guard Mousehold, if it's Technician can knock out the Entity, then we're talking something. But even then, a Sword Stance is just super solid right now, and a follow me right off the bat. And I'm just making sure that they never get the beat up off into the Annihilate. They could switch out into Abomasnow, I suppose, although they do lose a lot of momentum right here if they do. We're gonna see a Terra immediately from my opponent, so I'm kind of curious if this is Terra Ghost on the Mousehold or Terra on the Ape. It is gonna be Terra on the Ape. Okay, gonna be the Terra Fire. Not too surprising. Having Palafin in the back is pretty nice just to be able to go for the Wave Crash right there into this Annihilate if it gets a bit out of hand. I'm also going to protect, fearing the Fighting type move, which is really ideal for me. So I just get a free Sword Stance off, and I don't have to worry about like a taunt situation, which is really, really nice here. So let's see. Sword Stance is going to come out. I wonder if I should just get Palafin in. A bulk up. Yep. Do I need to boost? I mean, Rage Fist is just not doing. I mean, Rage Fist is probably going to do a lot to Hawlucha since it's pretty frail, but overall, I just don't really see a reason to do anything. Maybe another Sword Stance. It's a bit greedy, but I just don't see a reason not to. Inity is not getting knocked out here unless it's Super Fang Drain Punch. And if I go down with Inity, I think that's like a completely okay situation. You know what? I'm going to Sword Stance with Hawlucha, and I am going to follow me here. Let's see. It should be super safe, I'd imagine, unless, again, they pick up the knockout into the Entity. I am able to get the Sword Stance off of Hawlucha, so now we're at +4 Hawlucha. We're going to pick up a knockout through everything, and I mean everything. They do go for the taunt, so they do have taunt. Okay. Is this another bulk up is my question. Okay, this is where it can get a little bit terrifying. So I got to deny Rage Fist, so I have to go for the Acrobatics here into the Mouse Hold. So I will go for the Mouse Hold. If they protect against smart play, I'm just going to go out into my Palafin. I can't go Xianpao. As much as I would kind of like the offensive momentum, I would really love to, but I just don't think it's necessary. I think the plan is to get rid of everything around Ape because I could go for Haze in the late game plus Palafin. And I think that's a pretty good plan, so let's find out if that's going to be the case. Acrobatics will knock out the Mouse Hold. We can't allow that beat up, and it was kind of unlikely. I think they could really afford a +4 Acrobatics into the Annihilate for free. Our Rage Fist is going to come out as +2, but no like attack boost. So yeah, Hawlucha is able to survive. Let's figure out what the next Pokemon is. It's going to be that Flutter Mane coming in. All right. Is there booster energy? It is booster energy. Are you speed or special attack? Special attack. Okay. I'm just going to detect a Hawlucha, and they have to double here my Palafin. And I think if they double my Palafin, I'm pretty okay with taking the trade here. I could also, yeah, I think I would be. I'm going to go out into Entity here and just go for the Protect. If they go for another bulk up, I mean, it wouldn't matter because then I'm just going to aggressively target down the Flutter Mane, which should be pretty safe. So we're going to Protect here. This could be Dazzling Gleam Drain Punch. They're going to protect Flutter Mane because they don't want to lose the Flutter Mane here. So I wonder if this is Rage Fist here or Drain Punch into the Entity. They did go for the Rage Fist immediately, so not covering the Entity switch, and they're going to get heavily punished this upcoming turn because now I can just Acrobatics safely the Flutter Mane slots. We know that's booster energy, so it can't be like a Focus Sash or anything. The only thing I was really risking was like if it was Trick Room on this Flutter Mane, but I didn't really expect it here. We already see the Flutter Mane retreat, which is perfectly okay. Into a Bomb Style? Tinglu. Okay. So Tinglu is going to do a lot or take a lot of damage. And right now, I'm really liking our position where I think we could just secure the game again with our Palafin in the last slot because we can just haze away the Annihilate boost. And look at that damage into Tinglu. Jeez. Drain Punch is going to come out into the Entity, but it's not able to pick up that knockout. Psychic Terrain disappears, but I didn't need Psychic Terrain at all in this matchup. I'm going to go for... Tinglu probably doesn't have Protect, so this is a pretty free Acrobatics, I think, into that slot. I can go for Follow Me pretty safely. I could go for the Terra, but I might be able to live the Drain Punch, but I'm not risking a crit here. I'm just going to Follow Me Acrobatics. So Acrobatics into the Tinglu, picks up the knockout, perfect. And then I think I go Xianpao. Drain Punch going to come out into Entity. Yeah, I actually like the Haze situation now. I'm going to go Xianpao. The reason I'm going to go Xianpao is because there are two things that are going to happen with this Flutter Mane. The Flutter Mane, we can confirm it is not max speed because it's got a special attack booster. So I was trying to figure out how to like 100% seal up this win con with the Flutter Mane Protect, and then the Annihilate goes for Rage Fist or maybe Drain Punch here. I think the guaranteed way I win this is by going for a Haze here and an Acrobatics. Hawlucha is going to outspeed the Xianpao thanks to the Unburden, so I can Acrobatics the Flutter Mane very safely. And if the Flutter Mane attacks, it just goes down. I guarantee the win. I could double Protect the Scout for the Flutter Mane's Protect, but if it has sub and they read me, I think it's a really bad situation. So I'd rather just go for this Acrobatics and Haze. And it's like the perfect situation because the Flutter Mane doesn't exactly go for that. And now I get the Haze off with my Xianpao. And goodbye Annihilate's boost, and now you can knock me out with the Rage Fist. And even if, like, let's say the Flutter Mane protected and they went for a Rage Fist and a Hawlucha, they didn't pick up a knockout, and then I could outspeed the Flutter Mane, go for Acrobatics plus the Throat Chop, and I still had Palafin to back to take care of the Annihilate because the boosts were reset. So I felt like I was in a pretty safe position. Now I can just Sword Stance with my Hawlucha, and I'm actually going to switch out into Palafin. Oh wait, actually, with sort of ruined the Rage Fist. Numbers might have been close. Like really close. But even if Hawlucha went down, that means I just clicked Jet Punch into a Wave Crash, and that would have a Jet Punch into Throw Chop, and that should have been fine to win the game. Now we are able to seal the deal. Ooh, okay. Had to use a little bit of thinking power to secure it. No snow mode indeed. Not at all. Maybe didn't want to deal with that Arm Rouge wide guard, but made it a lot easier. Mouse Leap was, thankfully they didn't taunt immediately, but of course, playing mind games with Terra, I can't really go for the aggressive fighting move in the mouse hold because of the potential for like a turn 1 Terra Ghost that could screw me over. So felt like I had a pretty safe play overall, and it thankfully just worked out. Torkoal, a Jumpluff, Fluttermane, a Great Tusk, Xianpao, and the King Gambit. This is the team that has won the most recent event in, oh man, I was just there, Portland Regionals. Okay, how do I want to approach this matchup right here? Because it's a bit scary. The Great Tusk is pretty difficult. There are 2 dark types, so side spam isn't exactly the best mon right here. And there is, of course, just a lot of factors. Hawlucha, I don't believe you're faster than Jumpluff. Yeah, this one's not easy to be faster than Jumpluff. I do have safety goggles on the Entity though, so that's kind of nice. I think I'm just gonna lead off with Hawlucha plus Entity and see how it goes, because I have no idea what exactly they're supposed to lead here. If you're my opponent, could be like might be the Great Xianpao to get rid of the Psychic Terrain with Ice Spinner. But Hawlucha threatens, so at least there's one positive right there. If that's the case, do I want to try to bring... I mean, I think Armor Rouge. But the thing is, Armor Rouge beats the Torkoal, but the Torkoal's not really a threat on this team. It really isn't. I feel like it'd probably be... I don't have... My problems involve them... Oh, geez. I actually don't know if this is worth it. I think I'm going to bring the Sandy Shocks, and I think I'm going to bring my... This might be weird, but I'm bringing Sandy Shocks and I bring Xianpao. The main reasons I'm going to bring this is... I think Wide Guard could have been good against this team, but I have no idea exactly how this is going to play out. What I want to do here is the thing... Armor Rouge is really weak to just play Specs attack from the Fluttermane and the Sun plus the Great Tusk. I'm forced to Terra, so I don't think it's really that effective right here. We're going to see the Torkoal plus the Jumpluff come out, which is pretty understandable. I'm going to go for Protect and a Psychic because they can't really punish that right here. I'm going to get some pretty good damage into the Torkoal right now. A good Sword Stance. Don't really feel like it's worth it. I think I might just try to Sleep Powder here, so I'm just going to Psychic the Torkoal and Protect turn 1 and then see how the rest plays out from here. I should live a Leaf Storm into Overheat because this is Eject Pack Torkoal normally. The only problem, I guess, is if the... Well, I like the damage in the Torkoal because Torkoal is definitely one of the biggest threats to the Hawlucha right now. It's just able to take the attack super well right here. I'm a little bit concerned about how I'm going to play the back under Tailwind, but we'll figure it out as we go. They did try to Sleep Powder here. It is in the Hawlucha. It makes a lot of sense here. And I am able to get a Psychic off in a Torkoal. I really appreciate this damage because this is some pretty solid 50... Oh, wow. That did a lot less than I thought, actually. They are able to get the Overheat off. I'm surprised. That's Psychic and Psychic Terrain. That Torkoal is tanking right there. Okay. So they're able to get the Eject Pack off. If this is the Fluttermane, I probably have to Terra here, which is okay. If it's Great Tusk, I'm kind of curious on why Great Tusk came out, but definitely not complaining here. Okay. So they are able to get the... Okay, this is... Huh. My only problem is Acrobatics probably doesn't KO Jumpluff in one shot, but I think I kind of have to try it. I don't think Sword Stance helps me in this position. I'm going to follow me with Entity, and I'm just going to Acrobatics. This might be Tailwind plus a Rock Slide, which is acceptable right here. I'm really hoping that Hawlucha can definitely tank one attack. Entity might be able to, so I don't know. It's a little bit risky, I think, for the Rock Slide here, plus Tailwind. I do see maybe potential Sleep Power. They could Encore my Hawluchas, which is why I have to follow me right here. But let's see. We're going to see a Terra come out from my opponent. Okay. Is this a Jumpluff? No, it's a Great Tusk and a Terra Fire. Okay. So... I can't really damage it with my Hawlucha as much anymore, but I wasn't picking a knockout on the Great Tusk anyway. We will go for the follow me here with the Entity. Let's see what they decide to go for. Gonna be the Tailwind does come out. All right. Had to avoid the Encore though. Just had to. We're gonna see the Rock Slide come out. Ooh, we did dodge. We did dodge with the Indy. Would have preferred the Hawlucha, but it's okay. That didn't actually do as much damage as I thought. Here comes an Acrobatics and a Jump Off. It does pick up a knockout actually, which, okay, that's, how good is that for me? It's not bad, but I'm kind of curious on how much damage I take from Flutter Mane. That is a good question. We're gonna see the Flutter Mane come in. Not too surprising that the Flutter Mane comes out. I just need to figure out how I beat the Tusk. If I can beat the Tusk, I'm in a really good spot. Speed Booster, they changed the team, so it's not special attack. Okay. Sandy Shocks beats the Great Tusk. So all I have to do is just beat the Flutter Mane at this point. So I'm going to double protect to stall out turn Tailwind. If they change the Flutter Mane so it has some kind of setup move, that's going to be really awful, but not much else we could do here. I am very much willing to go for the Terror with my Hawlucha though. Okay, we get the protects off. What did you go for? Going to be the Dazzling Gleam, which is not too surprising. Okay. Since it's not Moonblast and since they can't Terror the Flutter Mane, I'm in a really good spot now. We're going to see a Rock Slide here. Yep. All right. I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to live a Dazzling Gleam plus a Rock Slide, which I think is actually pretty reasonable with Terra Steel, especially because that there's Speed Booster Flutter Mane. So I'm going to Heal Pulse my Hawlucha here with my Entity. I'm going to go for the Acrobatics. All I need is damage into the... Actually, all I need is damage into the Flutter Mane? Because my Hawlucha survives, I could just double protect the last... Actually, no. The play is to Heal Pulse my Hawlucha. Terra Steel, go for Swords Dance here. Because if I'm expecting Hawlucha to survive the turn anyway, and I can just threaten knockouts with Acrobatics all the time into the left slot. Unless Torkoal survives the Acrobatics, which it very well could. We will Terra into Terra Steel. If they are not choice specs on the Flutter Mane, this is really bad, but we'll see. I don't think you're clicking Shadow Ball though. Just Dazzling Gleam, that makes a lot of sense here. With that Psychic Seed boost, we are able to tank that just very comfortably right here. And we're gonna see the Rock Slide. Okay, single target, Hawlucha survives, perfect. We are able to get the Swords Dance off. Very, very solid. All right. Hawlucha is now at +2. We can go out into our Sandy Shocks right now. Sandy Shocks is in a very, very solid position right here. We can go for a double protect stall out this last turn Tailwind. Then we threaten with Earth Power plus Acrobatics. And I think we should seal the game. I'm pretty sure the Hawlucha is guaranteed to be faster than a Speed Booster Flutter Mane. So we're in a very good spot. So we'll just double protect this last turn. And because they tear it to fire, Earth Power will be able to KO the Great Tusk. So very great here. The only issue, and I mean the only, well, it's not really too much of an issue because even if they swap in, let's say the Flutter Mane switches out into the Torkoal, I guess it just depends. If they went into Torkoal, I think it depends if Torkoal survives the Acrobatics, which is going to be a big one. But they didn't switch. They're probably just going to go for a Dazzling Gleam and Rock Slide to take advantage. Switching out the Great Tusk to reset the move doesn't really help them in this situation because then it's just Torkoal and Flutter Mane, and then it's kind of the same position regardless. And also, like, they won't even have Sun available for their selves. So although if they don't think I'm Booster Energy, that would make a lot of sense here, but I am Booster Energy Speed on the Sandy Shocks, which helps guarantees this with the Speed Booster. And the Sun does fade, so I am able to get the I am able to activate my Photosynthesis right here with the Booster Energy. So this is perfect. Now I can overpower the Great Tusk. I outspeed because of that Booster Energy. And yeah, there really isn't much here. Unless the Tusk change to Sash, but if they're locking in a Rock Slide, it doesn't really make much sense here. I'm going to overpower the Great Tusk, and we're going to go for Acrobatics into the Flutter Mane. I don't think the Flutter Mane's living a +2 Acrobatics, and even if they do, I think I still win the game. No, I would still... Actually, no, it'd be pretty tricky here if I don't KO, because I don't have Sucker Punch and the Flutter Mane has Speed Booster. So that actually would change the situation, but because it's Speed Booster, I don't think you're living the Acrobatics. Yep, Flutter Mane does go down to the Acrobatics at +2. We're probably going to come out on a Torkoal. Should finish off the remaining health on the Torkoal, and then it's the Great Tusk, but Great Tusk There is a acrobatics coming its way, and B, we have just an outspeed or power angle with the Sandy Shock. So no way for my opponent to come back. And that's really great because my opponent did go for the Terra early with the Great Tusk, which actually made it a lot easier because my Sandy Shocks in the back was the right call. Having that speed booster to outspeed and threaten the Great Tusk after Tailwind was gone was a really solid position for us. I wasn't expecting acrobatics to KO the Jumpluff. I know that Jumpluff's not exactly the bulkiest Pokemon in the world, but I've used it before and it actually can't take hits, especially with investment. And that acrobatics does so much damage to Great Tusk too. That thing has really high HP and physical defense, so very pleased about this result. Great Tusk eliminated. Not losing to the Sun team today, or at least in this battle. Maybe we'll lose to more later on, but Hawlucha really did put in the work there. Able to knock out the Jumpluff, set up the Swords Dance, was able to wall my opponent because of the Hawlucha's natural typing. Being able to just click Swords Dance and still have Tailwinds and then finish off like my opponent because of that burden is absolutely incredible. Dragonite, Chi-Yu, Dondozo, Tatsugiri, Iron Bundle, and Glimmora, the team that got top 4 at the EUIC. All right, how do I want to approach the matchup? I do have Haze on the Xianpao, which really does help out in this matchup because I can always Haze away the Dondozo. The Iron Bundle is actually quite scary right here, and so is the Chi-Yu. The Chi-Yu is actually probably one of the things I'm actually most scared of right here. Sandy Shocks is a great mon against this team, and I mean a great mon. It does a lot of damage. This is Terra Normal Dragonite? Yeah, it's Terra Normal Dragonite. I want to figure out something if I can play safe if possible. My only problem is that I have to make sure that the Xianpao is healthy so I can make sure I can always haste a Dondozo, but I don't know if they always bring the mode to, or the Dondozo itself, because it's not necessary against my team. I think I would like to go with Sandy Shocks. Sandy Shocks is really good against their team, and I think Sandy Shocks Hawlucha is not a bad option right here. I think I want to try it out. I have Entity in the back for the Psychic Terrain and then the Xianpao. This is a really weird combination, and the idea behind my lead here is because, all right, Sandy Shocks is able to threaten the Glimmora if they decide to go the Glimmora route. It's able to threaten everything besides an Iron Bundle specifically, but Iron Bundle has to be very cautious of leading into Hawlucha because of the Psychic Seed. So it just outspeeds and could KO. We're gonna see Dondozo plus a Dragonite, which is a pretty solid for me, I'd say. I think I'm in a really good position where I can just go for Thunderbolt, and Acrobatics doesn't KO the Dragonite. Huh. I think I would just scout here because the Dondozo, unless they changed it, can't set up, and I don't think the Dragonite was choice banned if I remember correctly. So I think I could just double protect and just scout for what they're gonna do here. If they want to go for a, what are they going to go for? They could go for a, I don't even think of what they could really go for. They could go for a Terra attack with the Dragonite, protect the Dondozo, which is completely okay. They actually don't Terra at all. All right. So I'm very curious on what their move selection is going to be right now. It's going to be the Dondozo protects. Yep, that's not too surprising. And we're gonna see what come out from the Dragonite. It is gonna be the Ice Spinner. Okay, Ice Spinner into the Hawlucha. That is a-okay right here. I think I'm just gonna go for a Thunderbolt into the Dondozo, and I'm just gonna hard swap into Xianpao because if they do go for the Tatsugiri switch with their Dragonite, I am gonna have the Haze position, and if they stay with Dondozo and don't go Tatsugiri, they are going to get eliminated. If the Dondozo switches out, nothing really switches into this Thunderbolt. So we'll find out what they decide to go for. But I really do like this position with the Xianpao. Xianpao just seems super safe. Although Ice Spinner, I guess, into Sandy Shocks will pick up the knockout. It was going to pick up the knockout anyway, so not that huge of a deal. We're going to see the Dondozo retreat here, which is acceptable. What's coming in? Nothing's taking the Thunderbolt extremely well. Iron Bundle, I'll gladly take the Iron Bundle off your hands because that was the Pokemon that Hawlucha was a little bit annoyed of dealing with, as well as the Xianpao. So I'll gladly take this. So give me that Iron Bundle. I imagine, I don't know who you're Ice Spinnering then, because Iron Bundle does go down. Yep. To the Thunderbolt. Are you taking the Sandy Shocks, or are you taking Focus Sash on the Xianpao? Okay, you are taking the Sandy Shocks. Makes sense. Okay. Being locked into Ice Spinner is not really that great for you. I will gladly take that turn. So I'm going to go out into Entity, I think, here. Yeah, Entity makes a lot of sense to me. because we want the Psychic Terrain. I could go Hawlucha too. I think either one works. Psychic probably does more damage. I'm trying to think. Tatsugiri's got to be the last Pokemon. I think, actually no, I think it's got to be Hawlucha now that I think about it. Yeah, I think it is going to be Hawlucha. We're going to see the Dondozo come out, which is a-okay. We're bringing out the Hawlucha. I'm just worried because how much is this Wave Crash doing to Hawlucha? I'm a little bit worried, but I'm going to detect right here with my Hawlucha. I'm going to protect with my Chien-Pao. Maybe this wasn't the smartest call. I think I should Psychic. But I can definitely double protect here because I imagine Tatsugiri is coming in and I imagine that they're just going to attack with the Dondozo. But they actually stay in. So I'm kind of curious if they didn't bring the Tatsugiri or if they're just protecting the Dondozo and just trying to get an Ice Spinner off with the Dragonite and risking it here. All right. Dondozo does protect. I can't really imagine you not going Tatsugiri in this game, but maybe you didn't. I guess it's acceptable for me to go out in an Indie though. This could be tricky. I think I do have to call it the Tatsugiri switches this turn. I mean, Chi-Yu actually makes a lot of sense here now that I think about it. Chi-Yu would make a lot of sense here. You know what? I will Ice Spinner the Dragonite right here. I will Ice Spin the Dragonite. I don't think I auto lose if I get this turn wrong either. So I bring out the Indie. Unfortunately, I am getting rid of my own Psychic Terrain, but sometimes it's what has to be done right here. We are able to get the Psychic Terrain off, and if the Dragonite attacked anyway, okay, yeah. Ice Spinner going to come out into the Dragonite. Does pick up a knockout. We are able to get rid of our own Psychic Terrain though, which is a little bit awkward, but I don't think it's the biggest deal in the world. Psychic Terrain disappears because it is going to matter for acrobatics damage, but I don't think it's that bad. Earthquake going to come out, not Wave Crash. I'm surprised on that one. If it is Tatsugiri, I do win the game by just clicking Haze, I'm pretty sure, but let's see. It was Tatsugiri. Okay, so they were really trying to mess with my head here. I really thought it was Chi-Yu potentially because of my Psychic type mode here. But all right, Tatsugiri going to be in. We are going to see the Dondozo get the boost right here. Let's see. I take too much damage from attacks though. I'm a little bit worried because the Tatsugiri actually can be a concern. I do want to Haze here 100%. Terra doesn't help me here. I think I just go for a Psychic into the Dondozo, and I think I go for the Haze here. The Haze, get rid of the boost from the Dondozo, so we are actually able to damage it for a lot. Psychic going to come out into the Dondozo. Not bad damage. We're going to see Earthquake going to come out. All right. That's really just not doing that much damage as we saw prior. Yeah, it's really not doing that much damage. I think I want to Heal Pulse the Chien-Pao and Throat Chop in case they protect to stall for a turn of lefties. I think that makes a lot of sense to me here. So I'm just gonna Throat Chop here. I get the damage. All right, no protects to stall lefties. Throat Chop actually does a pretty significant amount to Dondozo. I am able to get the Heal Pulse off with my Chien-Pao, or onto my Chien-Pao with my Indie. Wave Crash is going to come out. I don't think this picks up a knockout. Yeah. And that's really ideal, actually. That is really ideal. All right. I think I can secure the game now. I'm going to go out into my Hawlucha right now and go for a Throat Chop into the Dondozo. And the reason I'm going to go for this play is because I have the Psychic Seed on the Indie. So the Psychic Seed will allow me to get the Unburden so I can proc it afterward. I'm making sure that I can clean up this end game safely, and I think I can by Indie switching out. Because I don't know if they can really afford to protect, because if I Throat Chop here, the Dondozo, and Heal Pulse, I can do the same play the next turn and get back to full with my Focus Sash. So I don't think they're ever letting me go for that. So Throat Chop is able to knock out the Dondozo perfect. And it's only Tatsugiri around, but I do have the Psychic Seed Acrobatics that I can go for this end game. I'm going to detect Hawlucha. I'm going to go out into my Indie. Yes. Are there a few ways I could do this? I think Entity's pretty safe right here. The only things that I just really have to worry about are going to be Muddy Water accuracy drops. I think that's the only way I can lose. I'm pretty sure that Hawlucha is going to be able to live the Muddy Water crit very comfortably. It's just going to come down to accuracy drop into missing the attack if the Tatsugiri, of course, survives the turn. Bring out the Entity because I'm going to go back into Shein Pow and just go for the Ruin ability. So let's see. All right. They're gonna Terra. What Terra was this? Muddy. I think it was it water or steel? Doesn't make sense here. Oh, okay, it's steel. All right, now I can go for a fighting move in the end game, which is perfect. All right, so that actually just guarantees me to win, unless it's Sash. But if it's Sash, I think I just win anyway. A Draco Meteor lock in, huh? Not Muddy Water. I'm surprised. All right, perfect. I can go for a Flying Press into the Tatsugiri and follow me, I guess. I might as well, because if it is Sash on the Tatsugiri, I guess I insure it if they change the team. Because we haven't seen the Sash yet. Follow me, going to come out from the Entity. And I'm able to go for the Flying Press into the Tatsugiri. And not a knockout, but Draco Meteor going to connect on the Entity, pick up the knock on the Entity. But we do have our Shein Pow, and we have the Hawlucha in the back, so, and they're also like -2, and if they would have like, there's no way to win because Hawlucha just KOs. But even if like the Tatsugiri, I don't know, Quick Claw, get the Quick Claw, Muddy Water accuracy drop Hawlucha into a lot of other a lot of other luck factors here. So here comes a Throat Chop, here comes a Flying Press, and we are going to be able to pick up a knockout. That is going to be forfeited. And yeah, a little bit scary. Knocking out bundle was pretty crucial. I'm really glad my opponent gave me the bundle. My opponent played very aggressively with, I think, me trying to call the Tatsugiri coming in usually, but yeah, I was able to get rid of the Dragonite, which ended up being very solid, and then locking it into the combination. Endgame Dragonite could have been scary potentially at that last point of the game. All right, let's go over the games. Game 1 was able to set up Hawlucha and dish out a lot of damage around the Annihilate's partners to set up a win for Palafin in the end. Game 2, eliminating the Jumpluff early and being able to set up Hawlucha allowed me a position to pin both the Fluttermane and the Great Tusk with knockouts while outspeeding them to take the victory. Game 3 had to play a lot of guessing games with the potential Tatsugiri switch, but ended up being able to call my opponent and knock out the Dragonite. Hawlucha is still really cool mod. Yeah, it's able to do a lot, especially with the Rune Pokemon, being able to hit the Rune Pokemon super effectively, and of course, taking advantage of Shein Pow for knockouts it couldn't get previously is super neat. But if you do want to try out the team, the rental code is on your screen. You can check out the details of the team down below in the description. And of course, subscribe to the channel for more VGC content as always.